Hello, good morning, good afternoon. Wabogwe, wabava, wabota, wababy negehai, menoge, obiwa, tiwa, inosaduk ezeka, nevonipuve ye Dr. Oguname. I just finished from work and I came to take a little walk before I go home. So I just decided, okay, let me drop this soul food. Let me draw this soul food. Hello, Lucky Abraham. So please share the video. Go live with okay, go live with Ogie4. Okay, maybe that will be later. Hello. Please help me share the video. Help me share the video. It's a quick soul food anyway. It's a quick soul food. Before I go home, I just thought like, okay, let me share from from the pot of the soul food. Let me share some things. So today's a very special teaching. Good evening, good evening everybody. Good evening, Juliet. Good Uye. Good evening everyone. I want to talk about feminine energy and why kings always surround themselves with a lot of wives. This is a very special topic. This is a very special topic because since more than like 5,000 years, there have been a very huge campaign against feminine energy. There have been a very huge campaign to not only hide the truths, but to also bring down the power that is in individuals. Because when you have absolutely no awareness of feminine energy and what our role is, then automatically you as an individual, especially if you are a female now, Domo Sadomo Richard, Domo Obava. So especially you are a female now, you will be so disconnected from that which you really are. So that's why having the full knowledge, it's a very wide one anyway, but at least having some of the knowledge of feminine energy and how to really keep this energy balanced in your life is very, very important. Even if you are a man or you are a woman. Good evening, Kelvin. Good evening. Even if you are a man or a woman, because when we talk about feminine energy, most men, ignorant men of course, most men always feel like, I have nothing to do with that. That is a woman topic. I'm like, oh really? You don't really know anything. Because why? There is no man without a woman. So a woman, first, it's not woman. When they say woman, what they are trying to say is a kind of a man that have a womb. So that's why they say womb man. So she's not a woman. So those are even words to be able to give it a sense. So talking about feminine energy, you have to go back. First, let me state this. I don't talk to everybody. And I don't also expect myself to make sense to everybody. Yes. But what I want to share with you today is to really trace feminine energy to the first appearance of herself here on earth. It will take you it will take you far, long time ago. Even before there was a record of time itself. Yeah, because you have to know that there was once a time, yeah, you will see it. There was once a time this whole earth was full with water. This whole earth was full with water. There was nothing like land, no island, nothing like that on this earth. I'm talking about very long time ago, before anything like time even starts explaining itself. And then something mysterious happened. Inside this water, there was like a kind of a civilization, what we would call civilization, inside this ocean. So imagine the whole earth as a big ocean, without no planet, without no continent, no land, no island, all as an ocean. And inside this ocean, there was a civilization, and every individual in this civilization was all women. Yeah, of course, now they call them women. These are divine creatures which they don't know their names. Now you must call them women, no problem. Let's follow up with the human programming. So inside this civilization was all women. And this civilization was existing under the ocean itself. Some will carry it now to the Pacific. Some will say it's Atlantic. It doesn't matter which of the ocean now. But what is important to know here is the whole globe itself was an ocean, the full earth. So there was nothing else. All you have is ocean. And this is long time ago, even before there was anything recorded, because we know now that 100,000 years ago there was a flood that covered the whole earth. But what I'm telling you now was even millions of years before that first flood, which was 100,000 years ago. And the second flood was like, let's say 19,000 years ago. Yeah, but what I'm telling you is far beyond that. Good day, brother. Good day, Adibe. Sorry if I don't pronounce your name right. Good day. So this whole earth, which they call earth now, it was all full of water. And this which you call sun today, the sun was not there. The sun was not there. So the only thing that was there was the moon. The only thing that was there was the moon, but it was not being into a manifestation of herself, because she was mute, like don't speak. She's just there. So all the civilization inside this ocean, everything was women. There was nothing like men. There was nothing like men. So, but along the line, there was a kind of like a, let me call it like a meeting, like a union, a reunion within them, which give them now the idea to like, okay, we are so powerful. We are the owners of the universe itself. Because you have to understand that when we talk about women, the only way you can describe a woman is to picture the whole universe itself and bring her into a small package, which you now understand now as a structure of a woman. So automatically, woman is the expression of the full universe itself put together. So when we say, I don't even like the word woman, yeah, but we need to have communication. So when we say woman, what they are telling you about is this divine energy, this divine cosmic body, this divine universal self, which have decided to manifest itself into this realm or this existence, which you now see now or understand now as life. And it was just she alone. It was she alone. It was just them alone. But they came to the decision and say, let us create men. Let us produce a man. Let us produce a man. That's why that we should call man today is a premature woman. Many men will not like to hear this. That which you call man is a premature woman who have not fully developed into his womanhood. But that is a very separate topic. But they created man. And they created man out of a sacred act of masturbation. This is what people now call masturbation. This was the sacred act they used to manifest and bring out men. So when they bring out men, what they now do, what she now do, she splits her energy into two, and now use that half of her energy to create that which is a man. So then she said to herself, good evening. Then she said to herself, I will stay to your side to make you complete, because you are the half of me which have detached out of me now to manifest for me. So one of her principal reasons why she decided to create him, one of the principal reasons why she decided to create him is to have a balance of her own self, which will help her introduce her own self and interpret her own self. Let me try to bring it out again. One of the main reasons man was created was only to interpret this magnificent energy known as feminine energy, to keep it into a very good existence, which will be like a kind of a way to introduce our own self. So you can imagine it like this. She's so great to tell you about herself, so she show you a photocopy of her own self, so you can see her through the lens of the man. So automatically woman become the base. Woman become the base and the generator of that which we now call masculine energy. So man is a projection of a woman herself. So to be completely, to complete, a man now become like a premature woman, like that which is not fully complete. So to be fully complete, he needs to have her to fully grind himself back into the nature which he is. But it's a very complex situation, because why? We are talking about energy here. Very complex situation. Why? Because we are talking about energy here. We are not talking about one woman who was just lying down on a couch and decide to make masturbation or things like that. No, we are talking about expression of a divine energy, which is so fed up with our own self and decide to duplicate ourselves outside ourselves. So this has been something since more than 50,000 years. Since more than 50,000 years, good evening, blessing Samuel, good evening. Since more than 50,000 years, humans have always been aware of this. Humans have always known this. Everybody know, woman is God, good. Everybody give the respect to woman. That's why if you read ancient texts or you go to ancient site, they always display all these things there. All these things there. Why? Because everybody know that the whole what everybody see is not draft into this little package known as a woman. And the most beautiful thing is woman also now become talking about this dimension, this 3D dimension that we have now. So woman now also become like the gateway to this dimension. So without her, forget. Yeah, you can exist your normal existing in the spiritual realm and do whatever you want to do, but without a woman, without she borrowing you, or I like to call it borrow because it's never for anybody. Without she giving you that womb as your canoe, that womb to transport you, to sail you through that river that will bring you into life. Without she giving you that, just forget about you coming here. She is the only portal, the only door you can use to come here. But let's go back before she becomes that. Let's go back a little. So what was really our intention? Because why? when she first manifested herself outside her own self, out of a curiosity, or many spiritual teachers argue it was a curiosity. I just say ego, because why? That ego is what gives birth to curiosity. But no problem, whichever way it is. But when she manifested first herself outside her own self, and then everything was like ocean. But in that civilization, living in that ocean, inside that ocean, it wasn't like an ocean. It's just like now you think you are living on earth. You think the breath you are breathing, the oxygen you are breathing, you think, that is just life. No, it's also like that. It's like also an ocean, but different kind of ocean anyway. It's also like an ocean, but all these great beings, while they were existing under this ocean as the goddesses that they are, they never needed her, because nothing like that exists. So they were perfectly okay with everything they want. So that was how they built that was how they built a very, very strong seal. They build a very strong seal among themselves. At the beginning, they created masculine energy, and those masculine energy was to glorify themselves. So their slaves were men. Most of their slaves were men. Yeah, most of the yeah. Most of their slaves were men. But after a while, something happened. And I'm going to cut it short because everything is not being allowed to come out. But no problem, we'll be going around it anyway. So to cut the story short, after a while, something happened. What happened was, the rules was being broken. Why? When woman, please, this aspect is very important. When woman created men out of our own existence, the idea, the dream, the focus was never to have a what people now call sexual intercourse, was never to make love with a man. No. The only reason all these ancient goddesses, the only reason they created man out of them was to see the magnificence of their own self now like an object. So they see it as the king, as the queen, so the men have to do the duties for her. When we say the duties, it means everything, including washing our feet. Yes, it sounds somehow weird, but this was how it is, including washing our feet. So, but something later happened. What later happened was, in between that man that was created, another kind of independent energy, which she, the goddess herself, had no knowledge of. That independent energy starts growing inside of that man. That independent energy starts increasing its own vibration. So that is what now people now recognize now as masculine energy. Because of millions and millions of years that have passed by, it has matured now. So that energy that was growing was carrying a heart of a rebellious attitude. That rebellious attitude was not to supersede our creator. No, that rebellious attitude was to make himself equal with the creator. So because why? He had the full knowledge that he cannot be more than his creator, but he can become equal with his creator. But later, when these goddesses view that individual energy that starts growing out of the man, it gives them a sense of curiosity, like, we created him, and now he is creating its own self by his own self. Let us sit and watch what this will manifest into. It was like a kind of a curiosity. That's why people call it ego, but it's also cool. Curiosity is also a nice word to use for it. It was an art of curiosity. So that curiosity, the women start looking at men. It starts growing. It starts learning fast. Then what she did, she extracted herself away from being just a goddess to use him as slave, because normally the nature of a man is to be dominated by a woman. That was the nature he was created, to be a slave of the woman. Yeah, some men are still like that anyway, but no problem. I'm talking about general masculine energy form now. But later she shifted herself and said to herself, no, for this energy to be able to grow and manifest, he have to have his own space. He have to have his own space. He have to have a place where he can put together all his own energy, so he can be able to manifest that which he is. So what happened? She now pulled herself back to the throne and sit down, and then create now a chair for her on her own side, by the right side. That's why the right side is where the man belongs. The right side of a woman is because she created this and bring this space for this energy to be able to grow, while she will sit there, observe and nurture him while he's still growing. Because don't forget that men are premature women. So a man is undeveloped woman. Yeah. But what later happened was so shocking. Because why? That which that which was growing independently of that man was carrying a very strong energy, to the point that the woman now gets to the fully conclusion and awareness that the only way a man can exist and coexist with us is for we to project him forward of us. So that means she don't have to sit behind him as the goddess and the queen anymore. She have to put in her own front, like the prince, like the king. Then she will not be everything. She will not be his alpha and omega, which will not sit behind of him. So that was how the concept of a woman becoming the backbone of a man and a man staying in the front. But automatically, with millions and thousands and hundreds and thousands of years going by, many men start misinterpreting that. Because what later happened? Later, the whole earth was being sucked. That's a very long story anyway. It's better when your own self show you all this history, so you have the big picture for your own self, because not everything I can really talk about. So, but later she sucked the water and the earth reduced, and men and some of their daughters, some. That's why your real father, your real mother, they are not here. They are inside the water. They are inside the water. They are inside the water. But the ones that came out was like the grandchildren, the children. So that was how creepy things and things like that now start coming out to what people now call continent or highland and things like that. So those are like one concept of a creation of man and things like that. But when they start manifesting themselves into this realm, because men know that a woman's duty is to sit behind him, so men put upon themselves to be the doer, While women would be like the confirmer of the doer. So anything they have done, they have to go back to report to their queen, to their wives. This is what I've done, and this is what I also plan to do. So the woman will confirm it for them. The woman will check oracle for them. That's why in the early age of humanity, priestess was the people in charge. Yes, there was nothing like a priest. It's either you are a warrior or you are a king. Is a priestess is a priestess that is in charge of spirituality. That's why up to today in Africa, a lot of women are more into spirituality than men. And not just because they are born with divine powers and they are all goddesses, not just because of that, it's because of the antique nature of their soul. This is how it has always been. This is how it has always been. Women are even like a priestess, and then they will lead the warriors to the war. Yeah, a woman will be like the army general, commandant that will lead the whole army now to the war. It was like that. But along the line, let me be cutting it short because it's very fast so food. Along the line, what now happened was very shocking. So men start growing, men start duplicating, men start having more and more and more and more and more and more growth as a civilization. So the education was always left for the women. It is the duty of a woman to educate the children. That's why educated woman is a blessing to a nation. And when we say education, you don't have to have PhD, master's degrees, or all those bullshit. When we say education, it just means be aware of your own self, know your own self-knowledge. That's the real education that matters today, because people have misunderstood the concept of education. So it was always the duty of the woman to educate the child, regardless whether it's a male child or a female child. The only thing that was left up to the man to do about the child is, when it's a male child, it's now the duty of the man to take this child now to go and teach him how to hunt, teach him how to farm, teach him how to do things with crafts, with energy, how to channel the energy. But it is always the duty of the woman to give the basic knowledge to the men and to the women, to their children. So, but along the line, what started happening was humanity starts forming like a society, because the growth starts expanding. So they start forming like a society. In that society, they had a need of having like a king. And remember, before in this period I'm talking, everybody's so aligned with the energy itself. Everybody's so like connected to their real original energy. So nobody was disconnected, nobody was misled, everybody was upright. Let me say it like that. So when it comes to the time of them creating their own structure of their own body, what do they now do? They now go back to the ocean and go and look at the structure. And go and look at the structure of how everything are inside the ocean, because in the ocean everything is perfectly designed. Everything is perfectly designed. Everything is in order. It's in a well-designed format. So they'll go there to get like a copy of how they can build their own society. That was how they now come up with the concept of, okay, we have a father and we have to have a leader of this community, of this family, of this society. So that was how the first concept of a king start giving birth to. Okay, now you are the king. Okay, but he is a king and is a masculine. Is a masculine meaning is a premature woman, is undeveloped woman. So they needed now to balance the energy, because masculine energy is like the first layer of energy. So feminine energy is what balance it. So they needed to balance the energy. What they now do? because they don't want also I have a call, but no problem. Because they don't want also the same energy, which is the queen in the ocean, to also be like the ruler of the hills. So that was how they now come up with the idea, okay, you men, you will be the king, but all these women now, all these goddesses now, will be around you to keep the energy complete and balanced. So feminine energy from that moment becomes a very powerful energy to balance a masculine energy. But during that earlier process, as the time was going, sorry, I had to end your call, it's disturbing me. During that process, as the time was going, something happened. And what happened was, because the men who was the king, they start growing, their population start growing. That ego which was always inside of them, that curiosity which was always inside of them, that energy which is an individual energy of its own self that is separated from that feminine energy, starts growing. And that energy now starts having hunger of power. Because why? She was giving birth to from the act of selfishness of its own self. That's why we call it ego. It was built out of the selfish act of his own self. So that energy now start growing, and that energy start feeling inferior. What is the inferiority? When he look around him, he see three goddesses sitting around him. And these three goddesses, what are they doing? Their duty is to check and balance him. Hey, no, not so high, go a little bit down. Yeah, cool. So their duty was to always check and balance him. And this put him now in like a chaos. This put him now in a struggle which he was not satisfied with. Why? Because now he is portrayed as the king. But still, whenever I go back to his house, to his room, there's always people checking him and balancing him. No, it's not right. No, it's not so. And because of that, the ancient nature of himself to always worship these women and glorify them and everything, so it makes himself now start having like a rebellious act towards them. So that was how men start. That was how masculine energy, of course, after hundreds and thousands of years, everything does not just happen in 1 week. I'm just cutting it short, of course. So that was how men start rebelling against their creator. War against the gods, as the Greek call it. So that was how men start rebelling against their creator. Because why? They see the woman now as an energy which they need to suppress and puts on a very not really low plane, but on a very although never as low as we are now in this present moment, never as low as like this. Now people, even many women, don't even know what it is to be women. They believe on their big boobs and big ass and makeup and those things. So now it's so low. Now it's like nothing is there anymore. But then where these men were trying to put them was also a position whereby, yes, you are still a goddess. Yes, you are still a queen. Yes, we know you create us. Yes, we know you are everything. But you know what? You are limited. You are not to give me options. You are not to give me orders. You are not to give me control. So men start trying to break the link between them and this beautiful energy. Because this is two energy talking now, not just husband and wife. So that you have the full picture is why I'm saying it like this. So they start suppressing the feminine energy. So men start having closed door meetings. Closed door meetings without involving the women. They start doing things without involving the women and try to subject the women more and more into into kind of, yes, your energy is to balance us, but at the same time you have to be doing the balancing in the other side. What was the other side? Domestic activities. Domestic activities. And that was not our duty. Our duty is to be in the city council meeting. Our duties is to make decisions. Our duties was to check and balance everything. Yeah. Our duty was to do all these things. But men see her as a threat. Men see her as a threat. So they start trying their best to always subdue them, to always push them down, to always put them in a situation whereby first they will not be having enough of the information that is really coming, and second, they just have to follow. They just have to follow because why? That is all that they have been given now. So women now were closed. The link was broken. And what does the man do? Because the man knew that for him to be complete, for him to be organized, for him to be balanced, he needs to have all these women around himself. So that's why he just focused on, oh, okay, you know what, I love you, I want to marry you, come to my house. You, I want to marry you. They don't even need to love them. They just say it. You, I need to marry you, come to my house. You, I need to marry you, come to my house. So kings start having chambers of women. Kings start having valleys of, when I say valley, you know the meaning of a valley. A valley that carries, let's say, like a 300 population. The king will have almost about 80. About 80 women for his own self in that place. Those are how ancient kings began. So the more a king have wives, the more they were having a power to balance themselves. So it was like a necessary thing for a king to have so many wives. So whenever they even go to war, they conquer a land or anything, so they will take all the wives of that former king, which they have just killed now or raped now. They will take all his wife and take them home now as their own property. They will take their slaves also, of course. Then inside the slaves, anyone that is beautiful or that have a very magnificent energy, they also take her to become their own personal wives. So some kings will have wives which in 3 years they don't touch. Good evening, Josephine, good evening. Which for like 3 years they don't touch. They will just only put her in his chamber, because the idea, the concept was not really a sexual mindset. The concept was to have that energy. The concept was to have that energy, to use that energy to balance his own self and his own household. So the more they bring wife to the kingdom for him, the more the kingdom expand, the more the kingdom grow. So the idea was not to have so many children or to be sleeping with different women every day. They were not even having time for those things like that. But their own concept was, thank you very much for your time, sir. Oh, thank you too. The concept was really to have all this energy to help them balance their kingdom. Because as a man, before you can have a complete balance in your life, you need a feminine energy. When you are lucky, the feminine energy you have to your side, it's so high and so powerful that one is enough. When she's not so high and powerful, it's okay to have like 2 or 3 to balance your energy. But having 2 or 3 to balance your energy, when these women don't have knowledge of self, then you will just die. Then they will just kill you for nothing. Because why? Polygamy is good and it's bad at the same time. But when you can have a very high level of knowledge and you can teach, let's say they have not known already, you can teach these women, educate them of who they really are, and then they start having a view from the same paradigm like you. then it's good. You can even keep hundreds of them. You will live a very perfect and happy life. But when you now just think, my friends have 2 wives, 3 wives, let me also get myself 2 wives, 3 wives, without you yourself don't even have no knowledge, you are just killing yourself. Okay, you are just killing yourself. Why? Because I just read a message that was one say, okay, why are you killing yourself? Because why? Uneducated woman is more poisonous than a python itself. Please don't get me wrong. When I say education, it doesn't mean she have to have a master degree or university or secondary or whatever level of school. No. The type of education I'm talking about here is self-awareness, self-understanding, that this is really who I am, and this is where I came from, and this is why I'm here on earth, and this is this man which our soul have traveled a long journey already together, and now we have met again, and we want to continue from where we when a woman don't really have a deeper knowledge of herself, it's not even good to even be around that type of a woman, because then they become toxic to your own life. It's kind of personal issue anyway, and it's also complicated to really explain to people, but they also will always get the message that is inside there. But what later happened was so shocking, since let's say 5,000 years, to just speed all the stories, let's say since 5,000 years, something brand new start happening. What start happening? Men start portraying themselves as God. Men start portraying themselves as God, because men now was looking for a way which they can control all the men, and they now see that, okay, if they make men know that woman is God, so all the man have to do is to get a woman and bring her home, make a shrine for her, and then he have a God for himself already. So no, they don't want that, because they're power drunk, they're trapped in their egos, so they needed to have something to be in charge. So they start portraying themselves now as a reincarnated God. So that was how images of God and all these things start happening. That's why I always tell people, men create God in their own image. And people are like, what are you saying? Yeah, because why? Man was the one who bring out this portrait of how God looks like and say, this is God. So no God from the sky open the whole sky and say, yeah, this is me. No, men always teach men. Men teach men and men teach men. So at the end, men succeeded in creating God in their own image, and that was also a rebellious act to kill that link of the feminine energy in them. Because what was the secret? The secret of this elite type of man was to be tapping from the source, but making it not known to the people, so that the people will not understand the mystery behind their own sources. Yeah, so they will show you God is there. Meanwhile, they will go into their bedroom and talk to God. So while you are busy looking at the sky and hoping for the sky to open for God to come out to you. So all this psychological warfare started very, very long time ago. So, but along the line, masculine energy keep on increasing. Then wars start, because what you have to know that according to the nature of masculine energy of men, when a man is scared, then he starts war. It's crazy, but that's how it is. When a man have fear, then he start war. But when a woman have fear, she start family. So this is something that men was using now to defend their fear, to protect themselves. War. So all he needs now is to start a war and make a strategic plan of how he can win you, to overcome his own fear. So those people crying they want to fight war, it is their own fear. Because why? The fear of a man makes a man want to jump out of his own limit to make sure nothing expose his own safe zone. So to protect that his own safe zone, he can do anything. Exactly. Say where America said they want to go and fight terror, and they left their country with all their army and move and go and fight. Why? Because it is a fear of a man. When they were scared that if we don't go to these people, they will come to us to attack us. So that's like a natural way the energy function, regardless who you are. It's the same science. It's the same science. So that was how it happened. Men start fighting wars, start getting to more and more into themselves. Then it later gets to a place to forward the story fast, because I'm forwarding the story really fast. It later get to a place that men start feeling, after they start conquering lands and people and other tribes, but they start feeling inferior. Because why? Whenever they still want to make divination, they still have to go to a woman. Whenever they still want to make some sacred sacrifice, they still have to go to a woman. Because why? It was a very big mystery to men that why would a woman have a menstrual cycle? Why would she be refreshing her own self every lunar cycle, like which they now call months now, because when the moon circulates, that's they call 1 month. So why is it that every time this moon is turning and this social period like this, women have to go through this process? So it was like a mystery to men, and it was also scary for men. Because why? They later found out that when a woman is in a menstrual cycle, the whole universe is being summoned. That's why it's very good for a woman to have a very deep knowledge about these things, because you can profit a lot from all this. That's why I call it self-knowledge. You can profit a lot from all this, because that which they have teach you now as a menstruation is a complete key for you to rewire everything that you know about your life. So automatically, every month you are be given a chance to die, come back to life again. But it all depends on your awareness and the knowledge of self that you have. But this was scary to men, because why? They see a woman transforming herself every month, and yet they cannot do that because they are premature women. What they call penis as a man is a premature clit of a woman. So automatically, man is not fully developed yet. When a man becomes fully developed, then you become who you are. Yeah, but for woman, it's a very different thing. But a lot of people always get it confused. Man, woman, woman, man. No, we are talking about feminine energy and masculine energy. And when we talk about feminine energy, it doesn't mean that you have to be a man before you have feminine energy. So right now, because of the hundreds, thousands of millions of years that have traveled by, right now the energy have been so split, but I will get there. The energy have become so split. So now it's something that as a woman you carry a masculine and a feminine energy, because everything has been so split and so chaotic. But at the beginning there was a fine line between it, and that line has always been respected. But now, like I am now, I carry the masculine and feminine. So it's always my duty now to keep a balance of both of them. When this one side, that's where you get people start thinking they are gay. When it's one side, that's where you see people, she's a woman, but she tell you, oh, I don't have no feeling for men, I'm a lesbian. That is because of your a lack of spiritual awareness. When spiritual awareness is there, you will know that there is a lack of balance between your masculine and feminine energy, and then you know how to work on this and keep it balanced. But with respect to all the different genders and their way of thinking, this is not the focus of this teaching. But what I'm trying to say is that you carry this masculine and feminine energy inside of you. And it is your duty. It is your duty to keep it in check. It is your duty to balance it. It is your duty to profit also from it, because there are things that comes with the masculine energy and there are things that come with the feminine energy. So putting it on a balanced scale is what helps you enhance your life, because you can't rest on one side. Then you start having tensions in one side of your body. But when your body is straight, then your muscles are relaxed, then you are free to really expand to your own limits that you want to expand to. But since the past few thousand years, men launched a warfare against the women because they were so fed up and frustrated that they have to always go to the women for divinations, for spiritual cleansing, for spiritual sacrifice, and a lot of things like that. And this was so frustrating for them because there are some wars they want to fight that we warn them, don't do this, the oracles against this, you don't have to do this. So because of all this pride and ego of men, so they start breaking the gap. That was how they start giving male child to priestess to teach them how to become a priest. In the early days, there was nothing like a male priest. No, those are duties of women. Women are the people who take care of spirituality. When you think you are a man, no matter what you know about spirituality, a woman who don't just know anything, she's already powerful. Just because she don't know anything does not make you more powerful than her. So to start having same knowledge that all these feminine energies have. So that was how we start having priests as a man and things like that. Although we also have a lot of history of some great kings who decided to go into the ocean and make love to the goddess of the sea and make some special agreements and some special different things just to make sure that they really break out from that bound, from that contract, because it was like a contract anyway. But they did a lot which they want to do to rebel against God. When I say God, I mean woman, because woman is God. So after all this has been done, at the end, what happened? Although that was mostly done by the Europeans, nothing you will call that you will not involve these people, because they have done things on earth. They have done things on earth that humans was not able to think of for more than 50,000 years. So that is why their issue is always very relevant. Why is it very relevant? During the first crusade, that was where the first campaign against women started. Yes, although there are some parts of African history where women was really maltreated and things like that and selling to slavery, but nothing as sophisticated like what European ancestors did at all. Nothing like that at all. In fact, humanity was shocked like, eh? So they launched a campaign. While they were killing those who have different faiths, their main target was the women. Their main target was the women, because in Europe, although then it was not Europe, but let's just call it Europe now. In Europe, you were having like 99% great witches, which was all great witches with powerful and divine energy. This was in the aspect of Europe. In the aspect of Africa, the masculine energy have already subdued the feminine energy without having to kill any of them. How do they use to seduce the masculine energy? They make them take an oath. That was done in Africa. Because of our antique nature, there's a way we do things, and that is very, very, very beautiful anyway. They make them to take oaths. And those oaths those women take was to like say to them, Benin words is even so beautiful. Oguname, like my owner, my king, my lord, my God. That's why when you see different words, different African languages used to call their husband, it will give you the sense of meaning to what I want to say now. So that was like, let's say, 12 to 13,000 years ago, not so long. That was when Africans now decide, okay, fine. A woman can always be there. She can always do her duty. But we men have to be in charge. Because so much emotion and things we cannot work with anymore. But emotion is beautiful. Emotion means being human. But yeah, my ancestors, many of them don't like it like that. Don't like it like that. But no problem. I understand them now because I view everything now from a very high mountain. So I understand everybody now. So that make the women start making oaths to them as a husband. So as a man, I am marrying you. So from that moment you decide that you want to marry me and spend the rest of your life with me, then from that moment you will swear oaths. What is the oath? Not just not going to another man or things like that, but also by bringing everything that comes to life with you and submitting it in between my legs, in my knee, in my presence, submitting everything there. That was where the culture of kneeling down to give your husband water, kneeling down to say good morning to your husband, kneeling down to say things to your husband. So automatically, God, they are so amazing people. My ancestors, they come to make it aware that yes, you are the feminine energy that keep us balanced, but because your mother, which is the supreme mother herself, they have different names. They call her different names, but she's just there. She's just there. So because your mother has created this energy that balance us, so the way we will balance us now is for you becoming like the right word to use is ojoko, and that is a Benin word. English don't have that type of word. Ojoko is like a stool, a little stool, which you can sit and all your body can really be balanced. So, but it's not that type of sitting and being oppressed. No, it's a sitting of a protection. So the more now a man, that's how they started it. The more now a man have wives around him, so the more now he have so many balance around him. So that was how Africa ancestors drafted it and become in peace and harmony and in balance with everything, without needing to kill anybody. But what does Europeans do? What does Europeans do? Europeans just launched a campaign. What is the campaign? Any woman who thinking want to be independent, they kill them, accuse them of witches. So if you read history, you will see all these things. So during the period of the first crusade, the second crusade, I think also a third crusade was there, I don't really remember. During those processes, their main target was just to kill women who are spiritually independent, economically independent, and emotionally independent. So that was their target. They kill hundreds and millions of women. Although then people don't have birth certificates, so you can't even keep the track of their record. But they kill a lot of women. They kill a lot of women, just all in the name. Okay, close to 6 now. Just all in the name to balance that energy. So to move everything forward again, as if that was not enough, European launched have to move everything just forward. European launched a campaign into the whole world, because remember they were given 6,000 years to rule the earth. That's also, yeah, they were given 6,000 years to rule the earth. So they take it upon themselves, because why? If they die along with that story of feminine woman is God and everything, they will not even have up to 6,000 years. So they really need to, their macho, their masculine power, they really need to put this into display. And they really brought this into the world. This was where the old earth started getting polluted anyway. Sometimes I always try to avoid these things, but it's still there, and you just can't avoid it. They bring these things into the world, like all those tribes that was being invaded. So many women was being raped and used as nothing. Their men was being killed, and the women become sex slaves, like a lot of African women. Their soul was being tortured. They transformed them into queen and goddesses. They transformed them into something that means nothing. Into something that means nothing, which still affects so many till today. So that's why you still see some Africa black women, not just Africa, black women all over the earth. You still see many of them today, they are twerking. They don't know that all those twerking and all those things was from their slave masters. That was how they were pleasing their slave masters. Their slave master needed this, so they so much used them. So as a black woman, she was not seen as anything good than a sex object. That is all a black woman is to to the eyes of the Europeans. I mean, then of course some still have that mentality now, but I'm just talking about then anyway. So a lot was done to break not just the psyche of the woman, but to break the feminine energy she carried. Because why? Don't forget, it was the duty of the woman to nurture and teach the child. That was the duty of the woman. Because why? From a woman comes generations. So whatever a woman knows is very important, because that is what she passed on to generation. So what the areas Europeans really focused on when they came to Africa was to kill the warriors. Although the ones that could kidnap, they kidnapped, but many were killed because they're fighting their last breaths. No warrior will allow you to just grab him. Those were some weak ones. The great ones died before you even carried them away. So they killed the warriors, they rape the women and children, they break down the homes, and then the few men that was left, they make the women sit with them by their own side and watch all these men wrestle themselves until they die. And while they are wrestling now, they wrestle nakedly. While Europeans was doing all these things to Africa, what were they doing? They were not just interested in fun or all those things. No, they were, oh God. No. Although, no problem. They were, you are so great, my brother. Thank you very much, Innocent. Thank you very much. They were focusing on breaking down the feminine energy, because why? They know they have conquered the masculine energy. So they focus on breaking down the feminine energy, because why? A woman who is sitting watching her own husband making love with her own daughter in her own presence without their own will, and she cannot also do anything about it. Everybody is being forced to go through this process. So that type of a woman, automatically what you have done to her spiritually, you have disorganized everything that she carried. You just disorganize everything that she carried. So all this was like a torture for their soul. That's why African people is in a very big problem. You have no option. You have to wake up. You have to seek for knowledge, because that's the only option you have. What has been done to your ancestors is going on in your DNA today. In fact, that was even the reason that made them do it. It's not a funny thing, even if you hear me laugh. I laugh because that's my nature. So don't always let my laughing confuse you at all. But I always laugh because that is me. So what they did to your DNA, to your ancestors, is still written in your DNA. That's why whenever I'm in Africa, I always have high blood pressure. Not because I think of everybody's problem. No, it's because when you just see the, when you see the atmosphere, the energy in the atmosphere in Africa, your soul will be shedding tears. Because why? So many destinies has been interrupted. So many. I don't even like going there, because then it becomes like a slope for me. I just keep falling in. I don't like going there, so I'm sorry, I will not go there. Let me just take it around. Because that's an area I don't always like going, because so much sadness and so much pains is always there. And the sadness is so big, because why? 96% of the people that all these things has been done to have absolutely no knowledge of what has been done to them. In fact, they even want to become like a British. But no problem. The old souls who I'm talking to, if they get the message, they will get it. Yeah, that's why I always say I don't speak to everybody. But to cut everything short is, let me just fast forward everything. Let's forget about the 460 years that Africans was being used. To fast forward everything, now we are in all this new era now. The clothes you wear is being designed by freaks. So you as a woman, now you think you are a woman, you dress nice, you are looking good, my dear, trust me. The people who are designing your clothes, they are freaks. All they are doing is selling you out. So out there, men don't see, my beloved brother, you have that was see, it's too sad. yeah, Raphael, it's a very sad thing to talk about, and yeah. And talking about it is not also very nice. It's not very nice, because it's just too sad to talk about anyway. That's why when I talk with my European friends, they are always scared of me. They are like, oh, you are a radical, you are a terrorist. Yes, if that's how you want to see me. Yes, because what it is what it is. And when you don't know, it's okay. That's why I always tell people, they want to be awake. I'm like, it's better you don't awake. Because from the moment you become awake, the things you will be seeing, the things you will be knowing, then you will just know that it's not just how it is. It's deeper. It's deeper. Yeah, we continue moving on. Because that's how it is. But the hope is, there is a beautiful hope, Raphael. The hope is everything is drafting back. And the things that has given me like this satisfaction in my heart is it was shown. Everything will draft back. And for those that could not even follow up, they will follow their recycling process. So no problem, everything is fine. So we have to just try to bring out the best from our moment. Everything is being taken care of. But having the idea and the knowledge is also very important and very beautiful. So coming to this present age right now, woman, you are so miseducated of what you are. They have lied to you about what you are. Different religions are breaking you down. Some even tell you you are the one that introduced sin to the world. All these religions specially created by all these men who was hunger for their ego. And they specially created all these stories to make you feel inferior, to make you feel powerless, to make you feel not there. Because why? This masculine energy, which is also a rebellious energy, have like come to full domination of itself. Remember, as I said in the beginning, it was like an individual energy that was giving birth to. So right now, he has become so matured and so in charge of everything. So right now you are dressing, and the dress you are wearing is being designed by freaks who want to sell you out. Freaks who see you as nothing but sex objects. That's all. So you stand, you think you dress, but you are naked, because everything that you are wearing is just bringing out the figure of your body, which is not important. But what they are trying to do to you is to put your focus on your lower self. because they know that as long as your neck is always down, you always look down like this and walk, that is a zombie state. As long as you're always like that, you are always being controlled. They don't want you to be upright. They don't want to see you stand straight with your shoulders bold and powerful and strong. They want you to always look down, and looking down also means they want your thoughts, your lower self, to always be under there. And that's why you see so many women now, they want to snap. They are focused on their ass. They focus on their ass. When they are dressing, they always look at the mirror. They want to see if every fat and extra body from them are all talking. They think they have to present themselves look good. Now they create different chemicals for you to put around your face. They create different things for you. And you don't like your breasts, don't worry, we also have something to adjust it. It's not adjusted anymore, don't worry, let's cut your skin, we put some silicone inside. You don't like your boot, don't worry, we have perfect jeans to pack it for you. It's not packing anymore, then don't worry, we have things you can chook inside your body. So they are building you again. If you are already awake, you are going to hate this life for what you will be seeing, which nobody can understand. You will only find of them. Yes, Raphael, and that's why you will only surround yourself with those who are awake like you. If not, you will start looking like you're a psychopath. No, you're a psycho. So for the moment you start getting awake, just avoid toxic people who don't have any idea about awakeness, and build and start involving yourself in a community. There's a lot of community. Like me now, I'm in a part of so many community. Some places we can even go, we all go naked and walk around strictly free and happy without nobody judging each other like, oh, look at his naked, look at this, look at... No, nobody have those thoughts anymore. So when you are awake, the best way for you to enjoy your awakeness is to look for crazy people like you. Say you are awake, you want to be among dead and people are deep in their sleep, my dear. You will go crazy. Yeah, I know all those things. We have been through those processes already. You will just go crazy. So as I was trying to say, what the present men of today is doing is to make sure that your connection as a woman with that your feminine energy is totally broken, so that you don't have no connection with that which you are anymore. Even all these religious people, they will tell you Ogbanje is a bad thing. They will tell you, hey, Mami water, bad thing. They will tell you, hey, you, bad thing, this, bad thing. And these are people that don't even have knowledge or idea of what they are talking about. They just label these things bad things just because that they don't know anything about it, and they just think they have to also save you from there because they don't know and they are confused like, hey, you know something there, please come out from there, that is bad thing. Label. Everything becomes label. So person, bad person. So person, good person. So person, bad person. So automatically, men make themselves become judges. Men make themselves become judges, judging people. And when I say men, I mean masculine energy. So what is really going on today is war against women. But everything is changing. Everything is changing. But it is also not changing in the right direction, because why? So many feminism movements now, trying to like make you think they want to show you about your own self, your own feminine self, and how to be your own self. But they have hidden agenda, because why? Your energy you carry is to balance the masculine energy. That's why any wise man will always keep one, of course one or two, but let's say one. You always keep one to his side, because you are the one to balance his own energy. But what all these feminism group and organizations are doing today is just to pull you away, totally away from there, to make you just see men is not relevant. You can do everything for yourself. Whatever a man can do, woman can do better. No, that's not the area we are talking about. When we say feminine energy, we are still talking about that sacred energy that is the whole life force of the universe itself. So all this energy now was placed in you as this they call Worb-man or woman or whatever names humans have given you now. So having the full balance of yourself now as the goddess you are, although now you don't really need to have all those slaves like before, although some still do, but all those that still do now, many of them are not in this world. So when you are still under the ocean, you still live inside the water, yes, you can still have your palace full of slaves. That is your own choice. That is your own choice. But not on earth. Don't start thinking although some still need it. Yeah, but no problem. That's not what I'm talking about. So right now, knowing that it is good to coexist with this masculine energy is the most beautiful thing. Because why? Having you by the side of a masculine energy help both of you to bring out the greatness of what you are. So is it good for a man who is not a king to also have more than one wife or 3 wives or 7 wives? Yes, it is good, and no, it is not good. It is good when the men and the women have the same understanding of their own self. It is not good when the man is all interested in ego and pride. No, 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 no. You can't just because of pride, now you have money, you want to buy a chieftaincy title, and you want to have so many women in your house. If that is just your idea, then forget about it. Fela used to talk about this. Fela is a god. Fela is a god. Fela is a god. But the problem, because I was observing the history of Fela, I think a few months ago, the problem was Nigeria was not consciously mature for the presence of Fela. So Fela came too early. That was just the only problem. Fela came too early, but he would have liked to come again now. That's a very long story. No problem. Respect to you, Baba Fela. Yeah. Somebody wrote, that's what they are teaching our wife and sister in Europe. Africa women are making nonsense of it. They said man and woman is 50-50. Yeah, they don't have the understanding. They don't have self-knowledge. Because why? The same Europeans who are not telling you man and woman is 50-50. Just ordinary 1,000 years ago, they were busy killing all women and hanging them on the tree. So they don't even have the moral right to start telling, hey God. But our people too dumb. They don't know anything and they don't want to know, because why? They still believe saying that they are oppressor and I go teach them. How can your oppressor teach you anything good? Common sense. But yeah, I don't like going on those areas, because then I become very insultive when I start going into those areas. Then I lost all my manners and I become very insultive, because knowledge is something. Knowledge is not free. You have to hunger for it. When you have the hunger, the universe have a way of bringing it to you. But many people don't even want to have knowledge at all. So, but the main point right now where we are is women have been completely pushed away out of the table. Men are making decision of the earth now. And since the past 100 years, let me just say 100 years, it's more than that anyway. Normally we can rewind it to like 800 years, but let's just use ordinary 100 years. Since the past 100 years till now, all the decisions men have made has been zero, has not been fruitful or useful to anyone. And these are the same type of men now who have, that's why I love what, is it Ethiopia? I think it's Ethiopia. Yes, Ethiopia. I love what they did now. They make all their new cabinets full of women. And this is example the whole world have to learn from, because there's a very fascinating story you have to know about Queen Nefertiti. Queen Nefertiti and Akunati, they are the one who restructure, what we say, like the first restructuring of religion, of people, uniting of people in the ancient days. They were the first people from Egypt, of course. Not Egypt, Kemet. Egypt is not the name. Egypt was given to it by Augustus, all these Europeans. The real name was Kemet, and Kemet means black. So that place they call Egypt today is not Egypt. Egypt means bondage. That's not a name. That's just a nickname. So so Nefertiti and Akunati are the one who really, to my own best assessment, they are the only one in the history of humanity who really introduce and demonstrate the importance of masculine and feminine energy. Please, if you don't know about Nefertiti, hello. If you don't know about Nefertiti, please go and read about it. Yeah, I have people are driving by the boat. It's a little late, but people also use boats to tour around here. If you don't know about Nefertiti and Akunati, please take your own time. Although many of you don't like to read, but if you can read, it will be good for you. Or even not reading, watch their documentary. They also have documentary, I think, on YouTube. Nefertiti, the German who first painted her white, because the archaeologist that found her was a German. He painted her white, but later he wrote her a letter of apology before he died and say he was so scared to brought those images to Germany and showing it was black, because he was scared they would kill him then. That was why he painted it white. So that's what like the only picture you have now in Google, in many museums or things like that of Nefertiti is like she's a white woman. No. Nefertiti is not. But I'm not interested whether white or black. Person like me, I don't care about those things. But I'm just pointing it out because it's good to say what it was. Because the person who made that lie, he later wrote a letter of apology, which you can still see in the museum till today, why he painted her like that. So that was just it. But Nefertiti and Akunati is the perfect example of the beauty of masculine energy and feminine energy. So according to some great historians, they are even insinuating that these two gods and goddesses, because they are god and goddess, these two gods and goddesses decided to reincarnate back only to show humanity, to show the world how beauty it is to have a balance between masculine and feminine. So Nefertiti and Akunati is one example I can give you to go and look into, study their nature and how they work together and how they do things together. That will give you a complete understanding of feminine energy. Woman is God, but a man is the doer. So you are a God and you need a man to do it for you. So that does not mean now that you need a 7 months to be your slave. No, if you need that, you have to go back to the ocean where you where you came from, inside your palace. Then you can have thousands as your slaves as you wish. But right here on earth, as we are standing with our foot here and the sun there, a man is to balance the energy for you. But that missing link that has disconnected men and women, all this, why need to be brought back? Why is it important? It is important because that is what will help men now become the best of their own self. And as a woman, sometimes, especially I'm talking now about this present woman, these ones we have now, sometimes you have also kind of a chaos between your own self. Because when you don't also have a balance on your feminine energy, because what is the problem? The problem now is situations and conditions has also conditioned so many women to become man. They are women by body structure, but they are men emotionally and practically. They are men. They use more masculine energy than feminine energy. Maybe, for example, she's a single mother. Now it's our duty to teach the children. Good. Now it's our duty to cook for them, to dress them up, to take them here, to take them there, to clean the house, to do everything. Automatically in her house there is no balance of a masculine energy. So she becomes the man and the woman at the same time, which is also not a problem, but it becomes chaos for you spiritually when you are not fully exercising that your feminine energy more. So even if you a condition or whatever happened in your house, now you are like the man, even if anything like that, try to create space for yourself to exercise your feminine energy. And one of the easiest way you can exercise your feminine energy is by being playful. It always sounds so easy and so cheap. Yes, it's always like that. Simple, cheap, common sense. But it's the truth. Being playful. So if you know you're a single mother and you don't have any energy that is balancing your masculine energy in your house, be playful. Go to the park. Run around with your kids. Look for crazy friends like you. Play. Like, just play around. Play, be very playful. Laugh a lot. Do things that people think, hey, this person is insane. Yes, let them think that. You are just balancing your feminine energy. So always be very playful. And then another way to balance your feminine energy is always show your sexuality. When we say show your sexuality, it doesn't mean you have to wear a bikini and go and be shaking yourself around in the city. No. Those are hawkers, people who need attention. Showing your sexuality, you can be at home. Carry a big standing mirror. Stand the mirror, get yourself naked, and put a cool music and dance. Move your body. See your magnificent body. Always stare at yourself in this mirror. Watch your magnificent body doing a movement. Admire everything about you. So appreciate your own self. Let your own self turn you on for your own self. It's a secret. But this your sexuality helps increase your feminine energy. God will bless you, sir. Thank you. God will bless you too. Help bring out your feminine energy. So the first one is being playful, play a lot. And then the second one is activate your sexuality. If it happens that you have let's say you have a husband or you have a, first thing you have to know that all women don't have to marry. This is fact. So it's not because your friend is married, you must also be married. No. Don't give yourself tension. It's good, yes, masculine energy is good to balance and everything, but at the same time, your soul may be going through a reverse trip. This is something I was talking about when I talk about old soul and how to know that you are old soul. For those who have not listened to those teachings, it's good you're listening to it. Your soul may be doing a reverse trip. So not what everybody is going after that you will also go after. Your soul may have her own independent trip that is very different. So she don't want to give birth. She don't want to do all these things. Don't laugh at them. Don't judge them. Accept them as they are. Because you don't know the journey that she is in this path which you call life. So it's good to respect individually. So if it happens that you are celibate, I have a lot of friends who are celibate, they don't make love. Because you have to know that making love with men who don't have knowledge of self, and you also don't have knowledge of self, what both of you are doing is not love making. You people are just poisoning your own souls and pleasuring your flesh. So as an awoken man, don't waste any energy to sleep with a woman who don't know anything about herself. That is toxic to your soul. Same is to the woman, but the problem is always difficult for a waking man to meet a awoken woman. It's always difficult. So one have to be awake and teach the other. That's always the challenge that is there. But what I'm trying to say with this is, pay attention to your own self. So if you are maybe married or you have, let's say, boyfriend in your life, you can also show your sexuality to him by seducing him. By seducing him. Don't just let him throw you into the room, take off your clothes and jump on you in the bed. No. Let her seduce you as a man. Sit down, take a chair, sit down, tell her, baby, seduce me. Make me want to do this. If she cannot seduce you, no problem. Forget about it. Some men cannot do that. But anyway, so if she can seduce you as a man, that automatically, you know what she's doing? She is increasing her feminine energy, and she's helping you to balance your masculine energy. So it is giving and taking. That's what love making is all about. It's not all about pleasure me. Some men will think they have to spend 5 hours. No. Those are toxic relationships. Deep intimacy, you don't need to stress yourself to satisfy a woman. A woman can easily feel orgasm, can easily feel satisfied just by gazing at you, because it is the energy that is important. When the connection is not there, that is when the flesh will have to wash and walk and excuse themselves. But when the connection is there, when the spirit is aligned, and when it's meant to be, I will repeat it, meant to be. Because what many women and many men are doing is they are forcing themselves into a relationship that is not heavenly ordained. So automatically both of you are cutting a tree. One is there, one is here, and you are cutting a tree, and the same tree you are cutting, nothing is cutting. You are just there doing the same motion over and over again. So it will get to a time you start feeling frustrated, not because the man is not lovely or because the woman is not lovely. It's because both of you never really pay attention to what should be, that you are pitying yourself out of pity. This guy nice, this guy, that woman, she can cook, so she dey dress my house. So because of that, people are managing yourself, like trying to make it move. No. The science of life is against that. If you so much like the character of the person, keep the person now as a friend. Both of you can last longer as friends than managing a relationship. If you are just man and you feel like you just want to sleep with her, don't lie to her. Just tell her the truth. You know what? I don't have a girlfriend, but I'm not really serious now to start committing myself into a relationship. So do you think it's cool with you? We just have a one-night stand. We just have a time for ourselves together. At the beginning, she might feel so upset. She might feel so upset like, what you take me for? You think I'm a prostitute? Then you can just let it know to her, sorry if you don't accept. This is what I want. I'm not available for anything serious relationship now. This is what I want. I just want the moment for now. So if she's not interested, she will just say to you, trust me, a lot of women who are very matured, they can also just tell you, you know what, let this be between us. Let's spend the weekend together. Both of you will just know this is what we are doing and this is what we have, and nothing is coming out from this. That is very more beautiful than you trying now to give her sweet words just to make her feel so important and so special to you. Meanwhile, all your aim is just to put her to your bed. trust me, my dear brother, if you are doing things like that, you are not sleeping with that woman. What you are sleeping with is a tortoise. What you are sleeping with is a tortoise. It sounds funny, yeah, but no problem. What you are sleeping with is a tortoise, because any woman that open a body for you, a universe for you, or in the deception of love, or in the thought and the belief that this man loved me and want to take me serious, and meanwhile you were tricking that woman just to have that flower, automatically that flower you think you are plucking is not a flower, it's a poison. So always be honest. It doesn't cost you anything to be honest. Always be honest. Any woman who like you, they don't care. That's the fact. Any woman who like you, they like you. They don't care if you are married, you have girlfriend, you have children, you have whatever, they still love you. So when you are not being honest, automatically you are downgrading your own masculine energy, and then you are manipulating a feminine energy, which is toxic to you, because she is your God. You cannot play with your God. You have to only worship your God, loyal to your God, and listen to your God. Your God is not to be deceived and to be manipulated. So from the moment you do that, you have rebelled against your own nature, which is also your own self, and everything will come back to you in one way or in another way. There is a science how the universe functions, and you cannot skip this. You cannot skip this. Yes, people do sacrifice and rituals to go around it, but no matter the shortcut you think you are taking, you still fall into it later. Child Yasin, you still fall into it later. Because why? That which it is what it is already before anything. And there are things you can't just interrupt. There are things that has to be exactly how they are. So I will be ending this topic here today. Yeah, I just finished from work. I just want to relax here a little before I go home, but I think I've done a lot enough now already. So I'll be leaving this topic here today. But please just know that those two little ways I just dropped now to increase your feminine energy, don't commonize it. Always be very playful and always express your sexuality. If not with anybody, with your own self. Yes, make love with yourself. Appreciate yourself. That is very good to increase your feminine energy. Of course, there's also a lot of exercise, a lot of things, especially when you are on your menstrual cycle. There are special techniques and special exercise and special meditation which you can be doing, because that is the greatest gift of the universe and you have it. So it's your duty to also profit from all this to transform your reality and the reality around you. So I thank you very much for staying here. I thank you all for coming, and please try to share the video and try to follow also our Facebook page, Africa Ancestral Spiritual Ministry, and try to also subscribe to our YouTube channel, because more and more we will just be putting videos there and not always on Facebook, because Facebook, everything is always so limited. Sometimes you can just wake up and they just block your Facebook and you're like, oh, why, what have I done? But it's so it's just like that. I thank you all for your support. I thank you all for your love, and I pray for you that from today your feminine energy, which is the godly nature of your own self itself, will keep on increasing and keep on balancing your life for you. I send you all love, I send you all greetings, and I wish you a very peaceful day ahead. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye.